Why is identification with the mind not good for us?
The mind itself is the ego. It is urgent to destroy the ego so that the mental substance can be of transcendent utility. The ego uses mental energy to manifest itself. If the ego is destroyed, then mental energy, mental substance, is free to experience real beauty, real bliss. The important thing is to free oneself from that clumsy mind and, being free from it, learn to move in the world of pure spirit without the mind. Knowing how to live in that current of sound is beyond the mind and is not of time. In the mind there is ignorance. Real wisdom is not in the mind. It is beyond the mind. The mind is ignorant, and that is why it falls into so many grave errors. Those who make mental propaganda, those who promise mental powers, who teach others to dominate the mind of another, etc. How foolish they are. The mind has made no one happy. True happiness is far beyond the mind. One cannot come to know happiness until one becomes independent of the mind. In the 49 departments of the subconscious mind, all and each of the psychological aggregates are hidden. To become independent of that mind. Ego is important to know the real, not to know it intellectually or as a concept, but to experience the real.
And you have truly said that the mind is the ego. Can you explain this a little more?
Yes, of course. In the world there are many speakers who amaze with their eloquence, but there are few people who know how to listen. Knowing how to listen is very difficult. Few are truly the people who truly know how to listen. When the master or the lecturer speaks, the audience seems to be very attentive, as if following every word of the speaker in detail. Everything gives the idea that they are listening, that they are on alert. But in the psychological background of each individual there is a secretary who translates every word of the speaker. This secretary is the I, the me, the myself. The job of this secretary is to misinterpret, mistranslate the words of the speaker. The I translates according to its prejudices, preconceptions, fears, pride, anxieties, ideas, memories, etc., etc., etc. The students in the school, the individuals who together make up the audience that listens, are not really listening to the speaker. They are listening to themselves. They are listening to their own ego, which is not willing to accept the real, the true. When the mind is conditioned by memory, it only repeats what it has accumulated. The mind, conditioned by the experiences of so many yesterdays, can only see the present through the cloudy lenses of the past. Crude, rough, deteriorated, degenerated minds never know how to listen, never know how to discover the new. Those minds only understand in a mistaken way the absurd translations of that satanic secretary called I, myself, ego.
What is the way to listen to others?
If we want to know how to listen, if we want to learn to listen to discover the new, we must live according to the philosophy of the momentary. We must learn to live from moment to moment, without the prejudices and preconceptions acquired in the past. We must learn to see life with an open mind. Children and young people have more elastic, ductile, ready, alert minds, etc. Many children and young people enjoy asking their parents and teachers about such and such things. They want to know something more, they want to know. And that's why they ask, they observe. They see certain details that adults despise or do not perceive as the years go by. As we get older, the mind crystallizes little by little. The minds of the elderly are fixed, petrified. It no longer changes, not even with cannonballs. It becomes urgent for teachers in charge of forming the personality of students to study the mind very thoroughly so that they can intelligently guide the new generations.